factoring when a does not equal 1. So we've got 6x squared plus x minus 15. We are going to multiply a times c. A is the first number, c is the last number. You are going to multiply those two together. And 6 times 15 is 90. Now, what does this sign tell me right here? They're different signs, and what else? And subtract. I still need to write that down. What does this one tell me? Bigger is positive, correct? So now I need two numbers that multiply to 90, but subtract to, what's this number right here? 1. With me. Good? Now, what two numbers multiply to 90 but subtract to a 1? 9 and 10. And if you don't know that, you could start off, you can do 1 times 90, right? And the bigger number would be positive, so I put a negative with the 1. You following me? Which part? Alright, so now I know the bigger number, this doesn't work, because when I subtract 90 minus 1, it gets me to 89, and I'm looking for a 1. So I could go up by 2, and 2 times that would be 45, but when I subtract them, I'm still not at 1, and I could keep going up, but hopefully we would be able to realize that 9 times 10 gets me to the 90, and when I subtract them, I get a 1. The bigger number is positive, so I'm going to put the negative with the 9. You guys following me so far? Now here's where the cool part comes in. You literally just put your brackets down. You put an x minus 9. Does everybody see where that came from? Right here. You put an x plus 10. Does everybody see where that came from? Now, is this equal to this? No, we know that because x times x is what? X squared, and that I'm looking for a what? So I'm not finished yet. I'm not done. Okay? Here is one of the last parts. We have 2 more parts really. Whatever this number is, every single time, you divide each one of these numbers by it. So I'm going to divide this by 6, and I'm going to divide this by 6. Remember, that number came from right here. This guy right here, that's 6. Okay? Now, I simplify. This becomes x minus 3/2. I just divided both of these by 3. Is everybody okay with that? And this back here becomes x plus 5/2. Nope, 5/3. I divided by 2. Are you guys with me? Now here's where the magic happens. You just take this number right here. If there is a leftover, you put it in front of the x. If there's nothing left over, you don't do that. There has to be a denominator. You take this right here and put it in front of the x. So your final answer would be 2x minus 3. And this one would be a 3x plus 5. And that is my final answer. We're going to do it a couple more times, so if you don't see it fully, just relax. But does everybody feel pretty comfortable with what we just did? This part right here of moving that 2 and moving the 3 is not mathematical. It's just part of this process that we're going to do each time. You only do this when we are factoring and you are doing this process. Whenever we have fractions for the rest of the year, please don't just start pulling the 2's out and stuff. That's not legal. Okay? That's why I said this part is like magic. So just let it do its thing. It works for factoring only. Okay? Good question. All right, so here we go. We're going to go to another example. and someone asked, like, they put in here, someone asked, like, if I'm on a test and I accidentally wrote X instead of N, are you going to take off? No. I don't give two craps about which variable it is. I'd like you, if it's an N, try to remember that it is an N. But if you get the answer right, but you have X's instead of N's, I'm not going to mark it wrong. I am not here trying to, with my red pen going, I want to see how I can mark it off. No. I actually the opposite. I'm trying to see how can I get you more points. So I'm on your side. I'm rooting for you when I grade these tests. In fact, when I start marking them off a lot, it irritates me because now I'm frustrated because I'm wanting you to do well, and when you don't, it bothers me. I have a bad day. So here we go. Only until 2:20. That's the only. Then I forget about you guys. All right. So here we go. First thing is, and I didn't do this the first time because I was just explaining the process, but now we've got this process hopefully down a little bit. What's the first thing I'm still supposed to look for? GCF. Does this have a GCF? No. So I move down. Is this a perfect square candidate? No. 2 doesn't have a square root. Are you guys with me? Is it a difference of squares? Heck no. It has how many terms? 3. Moving down, is A 1? Nope. So I've got to do the long way. This is the new way we just talked about. We good? 2 times 9 is, that's my magic number. This still tells me different and subtract. This tells me bigger is positive. Okay? Do you want me to make that negative just to do that, to make it a little different? Or are we okay? We're good? Okay. This right here, I need 2 numbers that multiply to 18, but subtract to 3. A lot of people tried 2 and 9, and they get stuck on that now. Like 2 minus 9 is 7. That's not the only thing that multiplies to 18. What else? 3 and 6, 6 and 3. This says the bigger number goes with the what? So what does that mean this is going to get? Negative. You with me? Now what do I put in my bubbles? X. It's okay if I do that first. It doesn't matter the order. It does not matter the order. I can put plus 6 here. I can put X minus 3. It does not matter the order. The only thing that matters is the plus is with the 6 and the negative is with the 3. That's the only thing that matters. Now what do I do next? Divide by 2, divide by 2. What will happen here? What will this turn into? X plus 3. Do I have anything to pull forward on that one? Because it completely simplified. Can this simplify? Nope. So what do I have to do with the 2? Pull it forward. 2x minus 3. And boom. That's it. The A. Every single time. Now, watch this. Again, why do I like math? What can I do with this? Let's say I'm taking my test on Monday. I would please finish the test first, then go back and check your answers. How can you check this? X times 2x is what? Check. Oh, I did it. Whatever. My bad. None of you even yelled at me. This times this, actually, I'm sorry, this times this is a 2x squared. Check. This times this is a negative 3x. This times this is a positive 6x. What happens when I combine those? You have a negative 3. You add 6. You have a positive 3x. Check. You with me? And a positive times a negative 3 is going to give me that negative 9. I know I got this question, right? It's not a question. I can check it before I leave. Good? Next one. It's because I'm doing magic. See if I can remember to write an N instead of an X. I sat there and told a few minutes and then I did it. Alright. What's my first thing I'm supposed to check for? Does this one have a greatest common factor? And it's one we don't remember because of this 27. You think, half of us think 27 is prime, but it's not. 3 goes into it 9 times. 3 goes into this, 3 goes into that, 3 goes into that. I have a greatest common factor of 3. With me? And then what am I left with? 3 times what gets me to 15n squared? What am I missing? 5n squared. With me? 3 times what gets me to a negative 27 pounds? What am I missing? A negative 9n. Yes? The last thing is a negative 2. Now, this 3 right here, you keep bringing it along. Okay? You drag it along just like I drag my wife along. Just keep it, keep this, bringing this down. Okay? But I'm not going to forget about it. When I forget about her, she gets all irritated, it gets ugly. Okay? She starts smacking me, kicking me, it's not nice. You gotta remember this 3 every once in a while. You gotta keep bringing this 3 with you, but I'm not focusing on it. Right now, all I'm gonna focus on is this portion. But I'm going to have the 3 down here. You cannot leave that 3 off. Once you get it out there, you can't just forget about it because now you've changed the question. Remember, this is equal to this, and then it's going to be equal to this. If I forget the 3, these 2 things right here will not be equal anymore. Are you with me on that? Yes? So I still do the same thing. 5 times 2 is 10. That's my magic number. This still says different, and I subtract. This still says my bigger number is negative. 2 numbers that multiply to 10, but subtract to 9 are 1 and 10, and my bigger number is, so I get 1, and I get negative 10. Still have my 3, but now I put my parentheses, and what goes in my parentheses? N minus 1, or no, plus 1, N minus 10. You guys see where I got that stuff from? Now what am I going to divide by? Not what? Not 15 anymore, because this is my A that I remember. I just kind of forgot about this. I'm focusing in on this. I bring the 3 with me, but I'm focusing in. That's the 5 that I used for my A. So that's going to be my A that I divide by. Are you with me? Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Can I simplify this one? So what do I do with the 5? And so it becomes 5n plus 1. This one can simplify and it becomes n minus what? 2. Done. Pretty good? Last one. And I need you guys to commit this to memory tonight. We're going to use it tomorrow in class. I'm going to maybe make a worksheet, but maybe we'll do it a little not traditional. But I need you to know these rules because on Monday you are going to have a test. What's my first thing I still do? No GCF. 7 doesn't go into any of these. Okay. Next thing, perfect square. 7's not a perfect square. Moving on. No difference of squares. No way. A's not 1. I'm going to do my long way, which I know as soon as I do that, I have to do 7 times 28. Okay. If you have a calculator, that should be 196. Now, I'm not going to know the factors of 196. So that means I'm going to have my calculator out. I'm going to take, and I know what's the first one. 1 and 196. Am I really going to try that one though? No, I know they have to be. Now let's talk about this. What does this tell me? Same signs, and both are going to be what? Positive. So I'm going to be adding them. So that's not even close, right? 2 still probably not going to be close enough to 53. Now 3 is getting closer, and actually when you go ahead and do this, 3 doesn't go into this. You want to know a trick for 3, by the way? You know how I know 3 does not go into this without using a calculator? What's 1 plus 9 plus 6? Does 3 go into 16? Then 3 does not go into that. That only works for 3. That doesn't work for all the other numbers. You can't do that. That's a rule for 3. That is it. If you add all the digits up and 3 goes into that number, 3 goes into the larger number. So I know 3 doesn't go into this. Hand up. It might be. 4 times 49. And what's 4 plus 49? 53. That's the numbers that I needed. You with me? Yep. So then I just put a, and I put plus 4 because they're both positive, same signs. I put an A, and I put a plus 49. And to finish it up, I divide by 7. I divide by 7, and I get 7A plus 4, because this, bring it forward, and A plus 7. Good? We think we can do this on our own, though. You are going to have to go over this a couple times and look at it, because you're not going to be able to look back on this. You're going to have to commit this to memory, which means you have to do it a couple times by yourself. You have tonight to look over it. Tomorrow we're going to use it in a worksheet. You then have Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, and then you will be put to the test to see if you truly know how to do this stuff. Yes, ma'am.